Hey guys, welcome to another video and today I am trying to explain how to fill an Indian logbook. So these are few of the logbooks I hold. One is from the English bookstore, this from the Sterling Book House, and again this is also from the English bookstore. And today I'll be basically explaining how to fill an Indian logbook. This is also another logbook which I have from when I was flying in the US. So let's get in. An empty page, and then here comes the first page. It says personal flying logbook, flight crew personal, distributed by the English bookstore. So I personally bought it from Colaba, Bombay. It costed me around 900 rupees. Now the first page, they're asking you for some personal information and license details. Now this is the type of license you hold. It can be a private license, commercial license, anywhere to an instrument rating as well. The number of the license, the number of your commercial license or your private license or your instrument rating. Now issuing authority can be DGCA, FAA, any authority that is issuing your license. Now the next is the date of issue of your license. The next would be the license number, the endorsement of the aircraft which you have. It can be R44, R22, etc. in helicopters, Cessna 172, 152, all the way up till 747, anything. The date of endorsement is the date on which your license was endorsed with this particular aircraft. Alright, so now next is the name of an address of the present employer. So first you will put whoever you're working with. Now if you have changed your employer, you'll go to the next line and put your next employer's details. Now going over to the next page. Now this block, these both blocks is asking for your past experience, both military and civil. Now it is asking for the date of entry in military, date of demobilized, date you were demobilized, highest rank held or decoration awarded. Now coming down, the hours flown. So over here it is asking for the type of aircraft which you have flown, in what capacity. It can be a pilot, co-pilot, it can be a trainee pilot. Now it is asking if you flew single engine by day or by night, the hours which you have flown by day or by night. Now this is multi-engine section. This is asking again for the aircraft type. Again the aircraft type can be anywhere. In my case it's a Dolphin, it's a multi-engine aircraft. It has more than one engine. Over here it can be anywhere between R22, R44, Cessna 152. Now over here multi-engine, again it is asking how many hours I flew by day or by night. And so this particular line is for one particular aircraft. Alright, so you can write 1, 2, 3, how many aircrafts, how many of the aircrafts you want, and you can total the hours below. Alright, in both single engine and multi-engine you have to total the hours and write it down. Now again in the next section, again it is asking the type of aircraft in which experience has mainly been obtained, and you'll write the type, the engines. The engine in my case is Ariel 1C. The type of the hours flown in this particular type, holders, operating capacity. In my case it can be a captain, co-pilot, etc. Now if you're it's an instructor, it can be an instructor as well, and you can also add on some remarks here. So again there's another column in which it's asking any special qualification or experience not previously mentioned. So you can add in this as well, and this can be the banner towing, flying. It can also be what do you call it, long line, and all these things. Now going on to the next page, it is giving you extract of aircraft rules 1937, and it is it is giving you all the rules and all the details which I am going to give you in short, and you should go through this once you have this logbook. Now again, there's one more page. It also gives you instruction for use. So all these details are there. It tells you how to fill it, and it also gives you holders operating capacity and all these things. So you have to read through this before you get into filling the log. Alright, so these are the pages where pilots fill in their hours. So let's go into detail. I have already filled up one row for your reference. So first we write the year, then the month, it is April, the date. Now coming down to the type, it is a type of aircraft. Now in my case it's SA365N, which is a Dolphin N. It can be a Cessna 172, 152, anything. The type of engines which the aircraft has, ours is an Ariel 1C. It can be a Rolls-Royce, it can be anything. It can be a Pratt & Whitney, it can be it is basically the type of engine. Now the registration of the aircraft, in my case it's Victor Tango Eco Lima Papa. You might have seen those bold figures written on the aircraft, which says VT, ELN, VT, ELG, etc. That's what I'm talking about. Now next, it's pilot in command / instructor. Now if you are the pilot in command or the PIC of the aircraft, or if you are if for example the pilot is your instructor, you would fill in self here. Now going ahead, if you are the co-pilot, or if you are a trainee pilot who is flying, you will fill in your name here. Alright, so if you are under training, you will fill in your name here. Your instructor's name will come here. Okay, so now next is the route of flight. Now I flew from Kavrathi to Cochin International in this particular case. This is the route of flight. This can be anything, Cochin to Bombay, Bombay to Delhi, etc. Now the next is departure time, and this is arrival time. So when did you depart your departure aerodrome, and when did you arrive? Alright, this is all in IST. Now coming down to your hours. Now single engine, if it's a single engine aircraft, by day and by night, these are two columns. So if you're the PIC, you fill in your PIC here, or if you are flying solo as a trainee pilot, if you're flying solo, you fill in here. If you're flying solo by night, you fill in here. Now if you're flying an instructional, you're flying a training flight, you're flying dual, you fill in here. And at night, if you're flying dual, fill in here. But don't make the mistake of in many schools what they do is they fill in both the columns, PIC and dual both. Don't make that mistake. You either fill in either of the one, not both. Now coming down to multi-engine aircraft. Now if you're the PIC of the aircraft, you fill in the hours you have flown. Now coming down to co-pilot, if you're the co-pilot of the aircraft, you fill in the hours here. Now if you are pilot under supervision, which means if you are already trained on the aircraft and you're sitting on the right seat with an instructor or an examiner, you're acting as a pilot in command with an instructor or examiner observing you. That is what this is. Alright, now the next is if you're under training on a multi-engine aircraft, this is where you fill it up. Now at night, if you're the PIC, this is where you fill it up. At night, if you are the co-pilot, this is where you fill it up. This is, I'm talking about multi-engine aircraft. I spoke about single engine before. Now coming back to night, again if you are under supervision by an instructor, examiner, you fill it here. And if you're under training in a multi-engine aircraft, you fill it here. Now instrument flying. Now if you're in actual IMC conditions or in actual instrument flying conditions, then you fill it here. If you're in simulated conditions and if you have an instructor flying with you, you fill it here. Now if you're an instructor if the pilot is an instructor, you fill it here. And now you have a remarks column. Now at the end of it, you'll find total this page. So this says the totals of this particular page has to be filled in this row. The amount forwarded, which is last page's total. Alright, the total in the last page, which you will find here, has to be forwarded over here. Alright, so the last page's total has to be last page's last column last row, I'm sorry, has to be brought here, and then you add both of them together and you add in total to date. That is how you do it. Now finally you have to put in your name and you have to sign it, and you say that you certify that the entries in this logbook is true. So that was how you fill an Indian flying logbook. I hope you liked it. Have a nice day. Be safe.